When you sign on to Windows 10, you can sign on either as a local user or with your Microsoft account. If I sign on as a local user, it means that all of my settings are specific for that particular machine. It won't remember my documents that I have on OneDrive. It won't remember my screensaver, my background, my colors, my themes, all of that. It will be specific for that computer. But if I sign on with my Microsoft account, change all of my screensaver and background and settings and my OneDrive, sign up my OneDrive account, and then move on and sign on with my Microsoft account to another machine, then those things will travel with me. Now, Windows 10 assumes that you're always going to sign on as one or always going to sign on as the other, at least by default. It can get a little bit tricky, but I'm going to show you right now on this virtual machine. In this case, this machine only has a local account, a brand new Windows 10 machine. I put a local account on when I created the machine, so it's not aware of any online account right now. I'm going to go to Start and then Settings, and then I'm going to go to Accounts, and you'll see under Your Info that I am Roger, a local account, and that I'm a member of the administrators group. Now, it does have something down here that says sign on with a Microsoft account instead. But as I said, remember, it's not aware of a Microsoft account. So I have to give it the information about the Microsoft account I want it to sign on to. And once I do this, it will always log on to the Microsoft account until I switch that back again. So I happen to have a Microsoft account already, so I will put that information in here. This is my Microsoft account that I have set up previously, but not on this machine. Now it's going to ask me one more time for a password, but this time it's asking for my local password because this account is in control of this machine right now. So it wants to make sure I'm giving it permission. Now, it's going to come back and ask me for a PIN for this account, for my Microsoft account. And I can take this out later on. It does ask you to create a PIN the first time. However, at another point, we could remove that PIN if we went to the sign-in options here. But now you see that I'm logged on to my Microsoft account. It's got an email address there instead. It's also a member of the administrators group. And now you see down here I have sign on with a local account instead. Now you would think I could just kind of switch back and forth at this point, and it's not as easy as that. In fact, if I go ahead and say sign on as a local account, it wants, of course, my Microsoft account's password. And it's going to act like it doesn't know about my user account. It does put my name in there, but if I just say next at this point, it's going to erase my password. I actually have to give it all of my local account credentials so that it knows how to sign on to this local account forevermore. So I will give it my credentials. It even has to have a password hint for some reason. And now I say sign out and finish, and this time it will sign out and sign on to my local account, and it will always sign on to my local account at this point. Now, what if I wanted to make a choice between which way I sign in and not sign in each time? So, for example, right now, if I do Control-Alt-Delete Switch User, I don't have any options. At this point, I only have my local account that I can sign in as. But I don't have the option to switch back and forth. If I wanted the option to switch back and forth, I would have to go back here to Settings and then Accounts, and then down here to Family and Other Users. And you'll notice I don't have any users here. I would have to add someone to this PC and add my Microsoft account there. At that point then, as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and walk through that real quickly here. I will add my Microsoft account to this. and it will ask for the it'll ask for the credentials for that account later on. But now if I go back to switch user, you'll see that I now have both accounts. So my local account here, my Microsoft account here, and I can switch back and forth and sign in to my Microsoft account or my local account at that point. So it can get a little confusing how you do that. All right, I'm going to cut this video off here, and I hope that this has been somewhat informative on local and Microsoft accounts.